So really, do you think it's even worth going down this route? Because if he's getting the same results as what he with a Magnuson or a Whipple or something like that, like trying to piece this thing together, is it all really worth it from a financial? All right, fellas. First step is to scoop this little guy up. I just took Shane to school. We're gonna head to Big Power Racing. Bye, Zoe. And we're gonna take a look at that Scatpack with the Hellcat Supercharger on it. And I'll tell you, I'm expecting big things. So as you can see, New York got hit with a huge storm. And I'll tell you, this is why I want to hang on to this Monte Carlo. The Charger is absolutely useless in the snow. This Monte Carlo does a great job ripping through the snow, so I don't know, it's a good daily. And we are off, guys. We are gonna drop the little man off over at my parents' house, and then we're gonna actually see what this 392 Scatpack. It's bone stock other than the Hellcat Supercharger on there. A lot of people have been waiting for a follow-up. I really was not sure if I was gonna end up being able to actually do some kind of a follow-up, but Chris from Big Power Racing gave me a call and said that the Scatpack is done. They're going to do one final pull on the dyno, and I'm going to record that. We're going to see what this thing is putting down horsepower, torque-wise, and you guys will be able to see what a stock 392 is capable of doing with basically just a plop-on Hellcat blower and a tune. So I'm going to see if we could get this footage on the channel. Dodge Demon getting long tube headers, full exhaust, lower pulley, still on pump gas, so we're gonna see what the gains are, how much it's throwing down to the ground. He said it's gonna be going up probably sometime next week, so I'll see if I can get my butt over here to film that. On 6 pounds? That's nothing. Chris, can you go higher than that? 6 pounds, or you?
Stock Hellcat motors. I'm sorry, the Scatpack motor, you like to pay like 7 psi.
Okay.
I don't really want to push it. He's on pump gas, 6 pounds. We're going to probably add another pound in there. He's got a adjustable boost controller, but I just want to go at it kid glove. I mean, it should rip pretty good. We make 549 or something like that.
Yeah, so 550 to the ground is pretty solid. Now, how does that compare if he were to have gotten a Magnuson or something?
So a Maggie or a Pro Charger usually make right in the same neighborhood. Like, again, you're boost limited no matter what.
Yeah.
You know? So a Magnuson will be like a roots blower. Pro Charger make a little more because it's a little more linear and it's not driving the positive displacement blower. So, I mean, I think if we pushed it a little more, 7.5, 8 pounds, it'd probably make like almost 600 wheel, which is pretty stout.
Yeah.
Stock Hellcat.
But now you're running the risk of really running into trouble,
yeah,
correct?
Start to roll the ring lands and the pistons, and you know, we're good now because we got really good fuel. But if he gets a bad tank of gas, let's say it's supposed to be 93 and it's 80, 99 or 90, and he is out there whooping it. I mean, the knock sensors will take over a little bit, but you know, I don't like to take chances, man. I modify everything in process. We modify every car to its limit. We don't usually push them. I've never broken a person's engine before they wanted to make an upgrade. I mean, I pride myself in it. There's a lot of shops that like to push the envelope, but then they wind up with broken shit, and half these guys can barely, you know, they're scraping money together, build something, and they want a broken motor a month later.
Yeah. So really, do you think it's even worth going down this route? Because if he's getting the same results as with a Magnuson or a Whipple or something like that, like trying to piece this thing together, is it all really worth it from a financial standpoint?
I mean, the way he did it with the 6 rib belt, I would not want to do that. I want to get with the 10 rib. The benefits would be if you had a built motor, E85, put 20 PSI in it, I'll make you the same number of the Hellcat. So we can easily see 800, 850 wheel with this blower on ethanol. And if you had a built motor, you could spray it to 1,000 wheel.
Gotcha.
So I mean,
okay.
there's that blower. I personally think that the Hellcat blower is probably one of the best built manufactured superchargers ever made. You know, like I said, our factory Hawk, we ported that and put it on there. I mean, we saw all-wheel drive track Hawk 850 wheel and 1,040, which with a 200 shot of nitrous. So I like them.
So the blower is worth it. Yeah, if you could get it for a decent price and the adapter kit and everything like that.
Put it this way, like a blower kit from Magnuson, by the time I think you're all said and done, you're 8,000 or 7,900. Right? Pro Charger, you're probably about 500 south of that. So if you can buy, you know, a takeoff blower for $3,000 and you gather up the parts and, you know, do it the right way, you'll probably be about 8 to 10,000 installed. But you know, depending on
your ceiling is a little bit higher with that blower.
Yeah,
is that correct?
But there's more power, I think, to be made. You know what I'm saying? Like even the 2650 Magnuson we put on that other Hellinator car, we made it was a built motor though, 426, 18 pounds of boost. We made 930 to the wheel with
That's
that.
sick.
Yeah.
Now you didn't do this installation. No. You received it and then kind of tried to jerry-rig it so it works and tune it properly and everything.
Yeah, we work with Dusterhoff with Kurt, and he had a guy in trouble in Jersey. He's down in Georgia, so he periodically sends us vehicles in distress.
Okay.
And this car had a lot of problems. I don't know who worked on it or whatever. But we got it to work for the guy, and I don't know if he's going to have us. There's some wiring things to be done, so we'll see what happens. But
it's running strong now.
That's the 7th pull on it.
Yeah.
Just trying to dial in. He's got a little idle runaway problem, which Kurt's working on now. We're not sure if that has to do with the because you still use the electronic blow-off valve in this, so there might be some stuff going on with that. Kurt's got to write some code to fix that. But we got the best tuner in the country, Dusterhoff, so he's keeping all our stuff fast and living. Never an engine failure from him, so we creep up on him. You know, we don't go crazy this way. You know, the guys go hard and strong with timing, and those are the guys that melt the pistons. You know. But like I said, so we've been working with him for 5 years, and he never had a failure. You know.
Is this enough power? Like 550, will you run into any issues with transmission or differential or anything like that? Are you kind of trying to, is it pushing it kind of a thing, or are you good?
With a stock Scatpack tranny and diff on the street, we've been 800 wheel. Track days, you know, diffs are funny. A lot of guys are splitting the differentials, but if you can put the diff brace on and a set of axles, you might make it through. Okay. You know, I don't have, I've personally, knock on wood, haven't broken the diff yet. We snapped our axles at that modern Hemi event on both vehicles, but you know, the horsepower was pushing it a little bit. Yeah,
you're making a ton of power.
But with COVID, we couldn't buy axles, so we got stuck running on stock shit. Next year, we're coming out killer.
Gotcha.
You know, a couple of different cars, but yeah, we'd be good. But he'll be good. You know, he'll have a good time with it. I mean, I think 500 wheels enough to have a hoot. I mean, it makes these things stock make about 310 to the wheel. You know, with no headers or anything. So.
Well, you have a pretty stingy dyno, right? Isn't it? It's a Mustang dyno.
One lost reel. That's the problem. A
Yeah.
lot of people can't hammer real, but if you actually did the math on the boost, the power, and everything like that.
So
I mean,
on a
within
Mustang
5 or 6
dyno, a
months.
392 is what? I thought it was in the 420 range.
392, 390, 400. You know,
Yeah,
so you're picking up
around
right
400
now,
wheel. Okay.
Yeah, picking up over 150 horsepower to the wheel.
Okay.
So I mean, if you translate that back, the big thing with a Mustang dyno is it's 25% conversion. So if he's making 550 at the wheel now,
So a dyno jet is typically a little bit more generous.
so it's like 687 to the flywheel right now at only 6 psi, which is
That's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 200. What are these? 485, 6.4. So 200 over stock. You know, with 6 pounds of boost with a blower on it.
And,
there's plenty of more room in here, but just I don't want to break the motor. You know.
So a Hellcat runs 12 pounds boost stock. Is that correct?
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Because when I was listening to it, I didn't really hear the Hellcat Supercharger whine.
No,
It's just not running
turned
enough,
up.
right?
When you wick them up, that's when they make the big power.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, guys. So this is it, man. You guys saw the pull, and yeah, that's what it's making. I think it's pretty decent.